Well, my vision is help other people get their vision, man. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we got to take our community back. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to the amputees. I'm talking to the blind, visually impaired. I'm talking to people, my survival of cancer and breast cancer. Take your community back. We need your help as well. Matter of fact, your help is more important because you done been through some adversity and you really can get out here and empower people.
Langford Cunningham is really an inspiration.
Mr. Langford Cunningham.
Blind City, the podcast. It's headed up by a guy named Langford Cunningham. He had to lose his sight to find his vision.
Welcome to Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets.
Everybody got their ops, everybody got their enemies, but for real, now you don't even got to worry about your enemy. It be, the closest motherfuckers around you.
No, this is real. We getting shot by police. We getting stereotyped.
We didn't get a proper investigation. Well, definitely, I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Your car got shot up, right?
Yeah, he struck the bullet.
Yeah, you from the hood.
They just passed a law where you can give a kid a gun without the parents' permission.
Wait a minute. They can do what? We got people in power that's not really for the people. They think the people work for them. You work for the people.
We got to talk about the disparities in our community.
North side look like a bomb didn't hit it.
Hey y'all, this is Tashara Jones, Mayor of the City of St. Louis, and I listen to Blind City, the podcast.
If you found this content helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blind City, the podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms.
BlindCityThePodcast.com.
The state confirmed Kevin Johnson died by lethal injection despite efforts to save his life.
At 7:40, Kevin Johnson was officially pronounced dead here at Von Terre Prison. Kevin Johnson declined a final meal. He also declined to give a final statement.
Now, as far as you, Mr. Johnson, I know the governor has the final word. But what I'm telling you, God has the final word, brother. Do you think black boys' trauma is overlooked by society?
Yes, definitely.
If you found this content helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blind City, the podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms.
But what I want you to think about right now, every time you turn on the news, and every time you get a text message, and every time you go to social media, and you hearing and you seeing about these deaths and these deaths and these deaths, personally, can you say, I don't have anything to do with that?
I cannot, but I can also say that I'm not the only entity that's doing it.
You're not.
You gotta look at TV. You gotta look at video games.
Now
you gotta
remember,
you gotta go into a lot of different
you're right.
entities.
Brother James Clark has just pulled up to the city. You have been in the trenches. Is this the worst you have seen it, brother?
Brother, I never would have thought that we would be looking at the depth of dysfunction that we're seeing right now.
If you found this content helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blind City, the podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms.
What's up, St. Louis? Thank you for tuning in to another week of the STL Bucket List Show. I'm your host, Marissa Farrell.
And I am your other host, Luke Farrell. We got a special episode, somebody that, been around for a while, been in the podcast game, a huge advocate for St. Louis. We got my guy, Langford Cunningham. Thank you for coming into the show today, man.
Oh, man, thank you. And your beautiful wife for letting me pull up to the show, man.
Hey, absolutely.
Glad to have you.
We had to make it happen. So Langford called and he said, yo, I've been listening to your show. He also records a podcast. He's like, we got to make it happen. We got to collab. You said it was big for the city.
Yeah, Blind City, the podcast, and St. Louis STL Bucket List, man. This is a classic. This is going to be a classic episode.
Absolutely. So Langford, we really want to get into, we like to hear about our guest's story. So we want to take it all the way back to when you were growing up. Tell us where you're from. Tell us a little bit about your childhood, and then kind of just go from there.
Well, I grew up in North St. Louis. I was born came out of DePaul Hospital back then, right there off Kings Highway. Mm-hmm. And my people owned a funeral home called Cunningham Funeral Home. Back then it was Cunningham and Moore Funeral Home. It was the first black funeral home in St. Louis. And I was raised over there, man, with my mother and father, as long as they could stay together, and then they divorced. And then we moved to Richmond Heights in the Maplewood area. And I stayed over there with my father. And then when my father and mother divorced, she went back to Venice, Illinois. My mother's from Venice, Illinois. And so I was going back and forth to Venice to St. Louis pretty much my whole youthful life until I became a teenager. But it was a great experience, man, growing up on the north side of St. Louis. And back then, during that time with St. Louis, it was more family cultured back during that time, around the 70s, early 80s. It was a lot of families in the community, and you had the word neighbor in the hood back then. Now you just got hood. You heard. And let me say this, Blind City, thepodcast.com. You can go to that, Blind City, THE, thepodcast.com. And when you go to the website, people, when they go, wow, wait a minute. You talking about St. Louis when you say Blind City, because we see the arch and it's cloudy. Correct. St. Louis, Blind City. We still blind to the segregation in our city. We still blind as we separate from each other. We don't work with each other. I'm trying to change that. And thank you for letting me come on to your show, because I want to address some things.
Yeah, absolutely.
The crime in St. Louis is not a black crime. We might have black people killing each other, but it's not a black crime. People kill where they live, especially if you have no resources. Okay, let's get that straight. But all of us have to work together to stop the crime in the inner city. So you just can't say, well, we in West County, it ain't got nothing to do with us. Yes, you do. You go downtown to the Blues game. You go downtown to the Cardinals game. It has a lot to do with you, because you have to go to the city to see the sports. And you can get robbed down there while you seeing the sports. A couple people have already. So it does affect you. So we all have to work together. Chesterfield, Baldwin, West County, Creve Coeur. It's all our problem. We have to fix it. Has nothing to do with race. It's about humanity. Humanity. That's what we got to get back to. I live in Baldwin now, but I go back to the city when I can to help with a message, to help with turkey giveaways, to connect with people who are trying to make a difference in the community down there. I didn't go to Baldwin and say, oh, I made it now. Right. It's not my problem. No, it's still my problem. Because when the murder rate toll goes up, it don't say black people. It don't say white people. You know what it say? St. Louis murder toll. Now we in the top 3 of homicides. So it's a reflection of us in our city that we got to change it together. What you think, Marissa?
I mean, that's a big part of, why we're doing our bucket list gives that we have coming up this year, is just getting people involved in the community, right? Like just recognizing organizations, people that need help, and pulling people to do that. Simple as that, And
using the power in the platform.
Yeah, when you have the platform and the voice, and people are listening to you, we know it because we've been doing this for 3 years, just doing that for good. And so that's what we're trying to do, just our little part, and encouraging everybody else to do their little part. So,
yeah. And you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job. But this is why this is a classic episode, because my demographic and your demographic, to some people, it's a big difference.
Right.
But it's really not, because we're part of humanity. Now, let's face it, Marissa, and I keep going to you because you're a school teacher. My mother is a retired school teacher, so I have respect for school teachers. Your job is not easy, okay? But you were made to do it. But let me say this. Communities that have resources and the communities that don't have resources, we got to find a way to get the communities that don't have it to get it.
How do we do that?
That's a good question. But it starts with your podcast and my podcast, what we're doing. We're talking about it. We're creating information and awareness. And it's for other people to listen to what we're saying and saying, hey, you know what? I can come up with an idea. Hey, I got an idea. And it's about us putting our minds together and coming up with things. Yeah. But we got to start the conversation. If we don't start the communication, there's nothing. And that's why podcasts are so important with what you're doing. Information and awareness to the people. But maybe we can start some conversations in the people that live in Chesterfield, that live in West County in their households. And maybe the people in the inner city who feel like they don't care about us. No, that's not true. That's not true. There's people out there that care about you. We can't get fooled by the media, what we hear on the news. But it's good people everywhere.
Absolutely. So, bringing you on the podcast, we want to hear about, ways that we can get these resources to people, but also ways that we can collaborate with people that are already doing the work. So are there any organizations that you work with right now that are doing the work?
Man, I work with so many because I take on so many issues because of my story.
Yeah.
From human trafficking. Speaking of human trafficking, we got over 400 girls missing out of Berkeley, Missouri, man. Google it on your phones. Google is powerful. It just depends what you're Googling.
Sure.
But Google information and awareness. But I'm a big advocate for human trafficking. I done teamed up with Girls on the Run over in Richmond Heights. They're doing a great job in the schools. The Healing Action Network over there off Hampton, they work with human trafficking. I work with Dr. Ajuma, who's a clinical therapist working with young black males. Dr. Stansfield, she works for the Covenant Housing Organization. I just teamed up with so many people. I don't want to leave them out, man.
Right.
But we're creating a conversation. We're working together. I'm working on a major event. Hopefully that'll be coming to Harris Stowe in March and to other universities and community centers and other communities. I want to start getting out there. Hopefully you can join me on some of these platforms.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm starting an organization called Taking Our Community Back. Taking Our Community Back. And it's just about a voice for the people. We are tired of the nonsense. We're tired of the crooked politicians stealing from the community. We're tired of the thugs and goons running our city. We're tired of the poor education you keep giving to these kids. We want effective teachers, effective education. We want people that really want to work with these kids like you, Marissa.
Yeah.
You go in every day smiling, saying, I love my job, even when you're tired.
Yeah, that's
you just told me, you was tired today. You came in like, hey, baby, you gave him a kiss. You gave your husband a kiss. You say, baby, I'm tired. But you still ready to go in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same thing with you, Jay, going in your job, making a change with your social media presence.
Absolutely.
So this is what I'm saying. This is the people that's going to fight to their last breath to try to make a change. I don't care if it's one change. We did the job. But we have to get in the frame of mind. We got to take our community back. Community, not Chesterfield, not West County, not the North Side, but St. Louis. We're all one community.
Absolutely. And that's what, our mission is, it's not like exactly like your mission, but it aligns. It's the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. How can we bring people to West County to come down to support local artists in St. Louis? They have venues out there, but you still got to go to the Fox. You still got to go to the Muni. You got to go to all these places. And thriving cities is better for everybody. It makes the community, it makes the suburb profit go up too. The better the city is, you look at Chicago, the suburbs around Chicago are very high. The house values are going up through the roof, because people want to live there. So I think it's inspiring. There's a lot that we can do, and there's a lot of untapped potential that we have with art, because we're tapped into a young demographic, 25 to 30. And those are people that are wanting to do community work, but there's not an easy resource of knowing how. A lot of people don't want to have to ask. We just have to give them options. Hey, here's what we're doing. Let's all meet up. Let's go to this event and let's see how we can help.
Yeah, just get involved, get educated. We're really pushing hard on, especially with our demographics last week with voting. Get out and vote. If you don't know who to vote for, here's links, here's resources, here's how you can, pre-make your ballot and bring it with you, just important things, just so people can actually have a voice. And, I feel like that was really important to push, especially because one, that's your right. And it's incredible sometimes how often people will criticize things that we will promote, especially when it comes to money or things, and it's well, get educated, then take a stance on something, use your right to vote, and make change. Instead of complaining all the time, do something. Use your voice.
And I agree with you. I'm very hard. If you listen to my show, I'm very Marissa waiting for it. I'm very hard on politicians. Yes, I'm very hard. But for the ones that are doing the right thing, I'm very supportive. But like I say, we have a lot of politicians in some of these communities that don't have all the resources. They're stealing from them. And we just saw examples of 3 aldermen who going to jail next month. So this is not no lying what I'm doing. These are facts. This is a blue check. And we got more in the city that's been stealing from these communities. And they have to be held accountable. We cannot be quiet. You cannot be cool with the preacher and still have lunch with the drug dealer. You can't do it. The Bible say don't straddle the fence. You got to take a side for right or you're going to take a side for wrong. I take a side for right.
That's right.
First thing about politics, you work for the people. The people don't work for you. I want politicians to understand that because we got a lot of them up in there for 10, 15 years that haven't done nothing. And they relax. They shouldn't be relaxed in a community that has crime, no resources. It's a lot of work to do. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I really go hard on that because, I live in Baldwin. Peace and quiet. And I'll tell you a story. It was a situation in Baldwin where a young girl was raped in a school. I'm not going to name the school. Do you know them parents went down to that elementary school? They got the janitor locked up and they got the principal fired because it happened on his watch. That's what I'm talking about. We got to hold people accountable in our school districts, in our community, that's not giving these kids what they need to survive and to be successful. We got to call them out. And Marissa, I taught school before. I was an in-school suspension monitor. And you tell me if I'm wrong, Marissa, you can know in the school district sometimes, you can tell the teachers who really go hard and the ones that's there getting the check because the kids will let you know. Because when the kids like you, when you walk in the room, they rush you. Oh, how you doing? They excited to see you. They go into another teacher room, they looking at you. Can you get us up out of here? Yes.
What keeps you motivated? Because you work so much in the community, but you don't have to. Nobody's telling you to. What keeps you motivated?
Man, to make a difference, man. That's it. I got a 5-year-old daughter, bro. I had God gave me the vision to see her come into the world. And it's something about them girls, man. I got an older son. I love him to death. Don't get me wrong, but it's something about them daughters, man. And my daughter, she don't care if I'm blind, man. She say, we gonna play hide and seek, daddy. I be like, yo, daddy already hiding. Daddy, chase me, daddy. I'm chasing. I'm falling over the table. She don't care. Get up, daddy. Baby, I'm blind. So what, daddy? She just want her daddy. She don't care about me being blind. She want her daddy like everybody else got their daddy. So that inspires me to get out here, try to make a difference, try to reach out and touch people and collaborate with people to help make this change. So that's why this platform is so critical, and we're making history today. This is history today.
Yes, sir. So, with it being the STL Bucket List show, a lot of things that we like to talk about, to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, is STL Bucket List. A bucket list is things that people want to do in St. Louis. So tell us about, a few of the places that you like to go to, like maybe some of the restaurants.
This is my favorite segment of y'all show. This is the restaurants, right?
Yeah. Tell me about your favorite restaurants. Like, where are you taking people? Or where's that special night, where you go?
Man, I ain't heard everybody else on y'all show. But y'all finna go to the hood with me. We finna go to the hood. You hear me? Marissa, we finna go to the hood. Marissa, you hear me? Marissa's laughing. Look.
Let's get it. Where are we going?
Give us the Rex.
Well, I'm gonna go to one. We're gonna start over there by the Fox Theater, man. Best steakhouse, man.
I was just there yesterday. I was at the Fox, but
okay,
I saw it.
It's good. No, we always see it. We always see it.
And I always look, and I'm like, I wonder how good that place is.
Oh,
okay.
Man. Yeah, man. You need to try it. Go over there one day. Yeah. They got some nice steaks. I like the best steakhouse, and they cook it in front of you too. Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yes. Number 2, got to go with Emos, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the favorite.
What's your favorite pizza from Emos? Like if you're
just regular Italian sausage and cheese.
Okay.
Right there off Hampton, where Channel 2 News used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Where
It's
we
a
live.
Benz dealership, but that's the classic one right
That's
there.
where we live at, right over there.
Oh, y'all in the hill?
Yeah. Well, like right off Hampton.
Okay,
Yeah.
good neighborhood. Good neighborhood. Yeah. I like
A
the
little
hill.
further down.
The hill got some nice restaurants over there. But I love that. That's the old school Emos right there.
Yeah, they got the classic sign.
There you go.
Yep.
I remember that when I was seeing. I used to go there.
Okay.
Oh man. Now I'm finna switch it up a little bit. You got to hit the fried rice places in the hood, man.
That's right.
From the south side, north side, you can't go wrong.
Totally.
Fried rice and get extra shrimp. Always get, because you don't get extra shrimp, they're going to cheat you.
That's
They're
what
going
I
to put
get.
about 4 shrimps in
I
it.
get shrimp fried rice. That's my go-to.
But that's the dirty rice.
But I get no veggies. I just want rice and shrimp. Like
Right.
I don't want onions.
That's the dirty rice. That's the black rice.
Cayenne pepper, soy sauce. Yep.
There you go.
My
There you
dad's
go.
favorite is Peking's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in North County.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah. And no offense to Baldwin, man. Y'all rice joints. I mean, it's a little cuisine, but I like the ones in the hood, man. And also, I gotta go. Well, Jay, I know you're married, man. Marissa, I'm sorry. I gotta go to Hooters, man. Hooters, I love them. Oh, lemon pepper.
Okay.
With the crab legs.
Okay.
And the garden salad. Oh, you can't beat that.
Yeah. What
then
about
it-
Wingstop? Wingstop's got some good wings.
Yeah, Wingstop, I got.
good lemon
It
pepper
was good,
wings.
but it kind of, the grease got to me.
So you just went to Hooters
Yeah.
just for the wings, nothing else.
Well, no, excuse me, Marissa, I'm single. I go see what's happening in Hooters. I can't see. I can feel their hand, their wrist like Ray Charles. That's what I do, Marissa. I feel their wrist like Ray
I
Charles.
actually was gonna shake your hand when I got here.
Right.
Just no,
I would have grabbed your wrist.
Yeah.
But I would have took it off real quick because your husband sitting right there. He'd be like, "Oh no, blind, you being slick." I saw that movie. I saw that. Don't do that with my wife.
You got jewelry on, man.
Oh
Come on,
yeah,
man.
oh, blind. You gotta stay fresh if you're blind, man. Yeah, I don't walk with a cane or a dog, but I am better looking than Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles.
Stevie Wonder.
Oh my gosh.
I've heard you say that before, I think.
Yeah, you can start the show off like that.
Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder.
But no, man, this is a great day. But no, St. Louis have a lot of great food. We can go all day, but those are the ones I like, and I'm getting more into my more veggies. I'm getting in more fruit, blueberries. I eat a lot of blueberries. A lot of stuff to, I'm getting older now, so I got to play for the long run now.
Yeah.
So I got to watch what I eat very carefully.
Absolutely. Can't be, that fried rice and
Oh,
wings.
no.
How
and stuff.
boring.
You have a heart attack like Sanford, Fred Sanford. Shout out to Red Fox, man. Y'all need to fix this street up on the north side too, man. Kind of raggedy, man. Y'all need to fix Red Fox
Red
Street
Fox
up.
Road?
Yeah, his street, man. Look ridiculous. And Martin Luther King. Fix that street up, man. Street don't look nothing like his character.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Marissa.
No, but you're right though. Like those streets, like you go to Martin Luther King Drive in different states, and it's it's a memorial street. There's a lot of more stuff
Right.
going on.
Right.
And
Yeah.
in North City, it looks like there's a
represent
lot.
the value that it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff going on in North City, and it looks like some big businesses are moving over there. So hopefully we're going to start seeing a shift, and another stadium's getting built over in Midtown by STL. So there's stadiums with the soccer team. So
Right.
we're here for the development, but we're here for the long run, and we're going to keep supporting St. Louis and mention like different podcast episodes we have, and you remember scenes talking about these people and like recalling it to us, like, hey, I remember when you talked about this on this podcast, and
Yeah, I
stuff
can
like
remember like everything. People say when I talk, you remember like, yeah, I can go back. Yes.
Yeah, that's inspiring. So we're gonna leave it off with one message. If you just want to, tell people why St. Louis means so much to you, and just give us like a little outlook of what your vision is for the next few years, and what things that you want to bring.
Well, my vision is help other people get their vision, man. Like I said, we got to take our community back. We got to work as one, as a family. We got to quit being segregated, man. I know our city is segregated with a lot of lines throughout our community, but we the ones that can erase those lines and start helping people. Let's just start help people. I don't care if you got to donate to the Juvenile Detention Center, donate to your church, go to Red Cross, Salvation Army. Everybody can play their part. I'm not expecting people to go in juvenile detention like I did and go into the prisons. No, but you can do other things. You can bake cookies. You can sell them to an organization. Take some milk and cookies down to the homeless people. Just find whatever you can do to chip in to help a community that doesn't have as many resources as your community. That's what I ask people. That's what I'm working on. And let me shout out to Larry and Chris Rice, man. They are doing so much for the city, man. And you know, like I said, I'm big on people. Action speaks louder than words. And I know we have a lot of churches out here. And they can be doing so much more. And I tell the churches, you know, stop keeping people in the building and start building people up in the community. Mm. That's real talk. Mm. Jesus did work in the streets, not in the church. Mm. And we just got to get out in the community and take it back and help in any way possible. So that's my vision. That's what I'm doing to get out here to keep inspiring people, even blind people, because what they do with handicapped people, and let me say this, I have to speak on this, and I have to become more of an advocate for this. When you're handicapped, they tell you to stay away. Stay away. Get out the way. You're handicapped. Take your little check a month. Stay over here with the other handicapped people. No, that's BS. You get out there back in society and get your foot in the race. I'm blind and I'm out here still doing it. Use whatever advantage that can get you back out here in the race to help create change in your community. You don't have to be on an island with other handicapped people. You can be out there back with society and get your life back. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to the amputees. I'm talking to the blind, visually impaired. I'm talking to people, my survival of cancer and breast cancer. Take your community back. We need your help as well. Matter of fact, your help is more important because you done been through some adversity and you really can get out here and empower people. Like I say, I'm Langford Cunningham, and I had to lose my sight to find my vision.
And that's a wrap, guys. Thank you again for listening in to another episode of the STL Bucket List Show. Had a special, historic episode today on the show. We had Mr. C in the building giving us some knowledge. You guys check out his podcast. We're going to drop the links on social for you guys to check that out. And then also the link to the website. And if you guys just want to get involved, I'm sure you're going to keep people up to date on your events and ways that they can help.
And let me say this. Any people that want to reach out to me, you can. 636-825-9647 or go to blindcitystl@gmail. And you can go to blindcitythepodcast.com.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
I forgot. Man, you guys got me going. I'm over here sweating. I'm excited like I've been on a roller coaster.
Well, you're thinking about wings. I heard you were going to Hooters after this.
Trying to get something started. Look at you. Yeah. Check us out on ABC Sunday nights after midnight. ABC Network Sunday nights after midnight. Check out Blind City, the podcast. That's 1 a.m. the next morning, but I say Sunday nights after midnight. People can tune in, and if you fall asleep, you better stay woke in these streets. Record it with your DVR. BlindCityPodcast.com.
If you found this content helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Blind City, the podcast. You can find us on all social media platforms.